Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who episode in my Doctor Who Crown Jewels. So, when I did my very first video in Doctor Who Crown Jewels, aka where I talked about Season 1, basically, that went down a massive hit. That just went down a pure hit. So I'm quite glad that I'm continuing with Season 2 now, because I'm hoping this series will be a hit as that's the first part was. So, Doctor Who Crown Jewels for Season 2. Season 2. Before I get into my actual Crown Jewel, I've got a few honorable mentions and basically talk about a bit about the season. So Season 2, for me, it's my favourite Hartnell season. This is my genuinely just pure favourite Hartnell season. Every single one of these stories, I think, is a masterpiece. And that does include the Web Planet. I know some people hate the Web Planet, some people don't enjoy the Web Planet. I quite enjoyed the Web Planet for what it is, and I quite enjoy it. But the rest of the season is basically like a masterpiece, where you got the Dalek invasion of Earth, the Rescue, the Romans, the Crusade, which I do quite enjoy, which is why I love Season 2 on Blu-ray, because it's got the Crusade and, of course, the telesnap reconstructions for the Crusade's missing episodes. Better than it is on the Lost in Time. But then, going more into the season though, you got the Chase, and of course you have the Time Middler, which is another iconic story in itself. My favourite story of the season is, of course, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, but this might surprise some people. It's not actually a Crown Jewel. No, my Crown Jewel goes to another story, one I quite enjoy, but I do have 4 honourable mentions to quickly say before I get into me Crown Jewel for the season. So, honourable mention number 4. So, in 4th place, I have to be honest, it is Planet of the Giants. Planet of the Giants, I actually quite enjoy it. Now, the TARDIS basically ends up opening the doors in the middle of flight, and then the Doctor do close the doors, but it kind of shrinks the TARDIS team and the TARDIS down to, like, insect size. And, of course, they see dead ants, and, of course, they witness a death, and you got the Doctor and Susan on a drain, like, where you got the climbing up the drain, up to the drain pipe. Fantastic story. I do quite enjoy it, and I think every time I give this story a rewatch, I love it in HD. I really do love it in Blu-ray. I mean, I've watched my Blu-ray box set quite a few times now since December of last year, and I really do enjoy Season 2. Season 2 is just iconic, and so is Planet of the Giants. Honourable mention number 3. So, my third honourable mention has got to go to the Dalek Invasion of Earth. I have to be honest, this is my favourite Hartnell season, but I can't really give it the Crown Jewel just because it's my pure favourite. I have to go with a story I think actually does need to get the Crown Jewel for me. So, Dalek Invasion of Earth, what can I say about it? Well, it's actually a quite interesting story. The Daleks invade Earth in the 21 AD. I love that shot where you got the Dalek coming out of the Thames. And then, of course, it goes to women. Why have these humans been allowed to get near the river? No explanation. I just absolutely love the Daleks in the story. I mean, the fact that Daleks need humans like to become robotized so they can actually work for them. When basically the Robomen go berserk, they end up ripping apart of the Robo column and end up diving into the River Thames, where you have a poster saying this river is not to be dumped bodies in. And of course, it is Susan's goodbye. I mean, I just absolutely love the Hartnell speech for this story at the end of the story. And I love it, the fact that they actually reused the speech from this one in the 5 Doctors to open it, where you got Hartnell going, "One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxiety. Just go forward in all your beliefs, and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. Goodbye, Susan. Goodbye, my dear." I honestly just love that speech. It's one of my favourite Doctor Who speeches of all time. I did a video a couple of years ago talking about my main 5 Doctor Who speeches, but I'm going to probably have to do an up-to-date one and bring it up to 10, because I just love every single speech. There are so many great speeches in the universe of Doctor Who, spoken by the Doctor themselves. Honourable mention number 2 now. So, the second honourable mention I do kind of want to give it to is The Chase. The Chase is a pure amazing story. I love the fact the Daleks have got themselves a time machine. They're chasing after the Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky through time and space. And of course, they end up going to the Mechanoid planet, where the Daleks and the Mechanoids basically go back to war with each other. And the Dykes do get their asses kicked by the Mechanoids, which I think is a fantastic battle. Which is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to diving into the Dalek Universe sets. Is it like that one? Because you got the return of the Mechanoids. So I'm quite looking forward to listening to the turn of the Mechanoids in Dalek Universe. I really do enjoy the Mechanoids. I think I know they're out on figure, but that figure set is very rare to find. So I'm hoping that I find it pretty soon on eBay, just the Mechanoid figure, because I just want the Mechanoid to go with my Hartnell section for the figures. But it's the story itself. The Doctor is so stubborn to let Ian and Barbara use the Dalek time machine to go back into their own time. And of course, he does basically change his mind thanks to the help of Vicky, who is my favourite Hartnell companion. I really do enjoy Vicky, played by Mira O'Brien. She's actually my favourite 60s, well, one of my favourite 60s companions. If I was going to do a top 5 companions from the 60s, 70s, 80s, the mid-2000s and the 2010s, you all know that Vicky is my number 1 60s companion. But I absolutely do love this story. The way Vicky turns the Doctor's head around, like, come on, Doctor, I just want to go back to their own time, you know, let them use the time machine. Yes, okay, my dear, yes, of course. And then, of course, I love the fact that they go into the time, back into the TARDIS, and they look through the time TV, and they see Ian and Barbara made it back, but they're 2 years out of date. So the Gunners, what they're going to explain what they've been up to for 2 years. We were travelling with an old man in a police box. Yeah. But I'd love to see a spin-off. The Ian and Barbara Adventures. Imagine that. That would be pretty cool. Honourable mention number 1. So the first honourable mention I kind of want to give to is basically one I honestly wanted to put in Crown Jewel, but I couldn't. It is the it is the rescue. I need to time it there. It is the rescue. I honestly admit the rescue nearly made it into the Crown Jewel, but unfortunately it just missed out on the top spot because I do really enjoy the story I'm giving to the Crown Jewel to. But for me to sit here and say, why do I enjoy the rescue? Well, the Doctor has just basically finished saying goodbye to Susan, and of course to go into the next adventure where they find Vicky's crashed spaceship on the planet Dido. And then of course Vicky doesn't take well to Barbara killing one of her favourite alien creatures out of there that she's adopted as their pet. The human Quillam, I think he's a prat because he does kill everybody, including Vicky's father. It's nice that he actually left Vicky to be alive, but he did kill her dad. And of course, he does get his old comments in the story. And this is only a 2-part story. And then I love the bit where it leads into the Romans, where you've got the TARDIS basically materialising on the cliff toward, like, near Rome, and it just falls off the cliff, and that's where it ends, and then it picks up in the next story. But I do have to be honest, it is a brilliant story. I nearly made it into my top Crown Jewel. So the story that has actually got the Crown Jewel from me. Now, considering that I have not said the Crusade, the Web Planet, the Space Museum, or the Time Middler, so what is my Crown Jewel? Well, to be honest with you, it is the actual Time Middler. This is the Crown Jewel to this season because, one, it is a fantastic historical story. I do quite enjoy it. I love that we are in 1066, a few days just before the Battle of Hastings, and of course the Vikings do basically invade Swell and all that business with William the Conqueror. The Doctor and Vicky end up finding that they got a stowaway from the Mechanoid planet, aka Stephen Taylor, played by Peter Purvis. And I love the way how they get on with Peter straight away. And when they land and the Doctor goes, "Oh, what do you think that is? A space helmet for a cow?" I just absolutely love Hartnell's speech in that to Stephen, where he's literally trying to talk to him about the TARDIS and how big it is and all that, and literally where they are. And then, of course, the Doctor does get entrapped by one of his own people. So this is the first time we get introduced to a Time Lord, aka the meddling monk. Yes, we meet a Time Lord for the first time. I love that cliffhanger where you got Vicky and Stephen, and they're going to, like, the monk's TARDIS, and Vicky just goes, "The monk's got a TARDIS." And I really love that. I really do love that cliffhanger because, again, as I say, it's the first time we actually see another Time Lord, another TARDIS, which is actually quite brilliant, even though they do use the Hartnell set for the monk's TARDIS. And, of course, the Doctor does basically mess around with the monk's TARDIS and says, "Oh, I'll give it you back when I think you have served your punishment." Which is kind of a good Hartnell thing to do. I really do like Hartnell in this story. It actually does. Hartnell just gives a great performance for this season. It's so much different to the one we started off with in season 1, where he's a bit grotty and old, and that's where it goes from basically the unearthly child down to the Reign of Terror. In this season, the Doctor is more mellow. We say goodbye to Susan, we say goodbye to Ian and Barbara. We get 2 new companions in, aka Vicky and Stephen, which I do have to be honest. And the Meddling Monk. I really want the Meddling Monk to return at some point. I would like to see the Doctor basically bump into the Meddling Monk, thinking that all Time Lords are dead because of the Time War. And then you got the monk going, "Hello, Doctor. Who are you?" "I am the monk." Yeah, I really would like to see the return of the Meddling Monk. I just absolutely love it. And the one thing I want to literally say, when the TARDIS dematerializes at the end of the story and you've got the Doctor Who theme playing, I really love the star effect, but then of course you've got the actors' faces, where you got Peter Purvis's face at the one side, then of course you got Mira Brighton's face, and then looking tall and proud, you got the first Doctor's face in the titles, like the end credits, which is I quite enjoy. So that is it for my crown jewel for season 2, the Time Meddler. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Time Meddler? Do you really think I should basically have put the Rescue, the Dalek Invasion on Earth, the Chase, or Planet of the Giants in crown place? Let me know what you personally think about it. Thank you for watching. And also, let me know in the comments, what do you think is the crown jewel for this season? Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and join for more awesome Doctor Who content.